What happened during the weekend, some people will call it a violent protest, or some people will call it a violent crackdown, depends on which lens you see the situation through.
Yes.
But I think this is not that often that we will see the media organization considering bringing the lawsuit against the police department. The Prachathai, the online news outlet, is to file a lawsuit against the police after their reporter was hit with rubber bullets during Saturday's protest. Prachathai reporter Sarayut Tengprasert was reportedly hit twice while covering the event, where anti-riot police fired rubber bullets and tear gas to disperse the crowds. Sarayut said that the Royal Thai Police will be sued for using crowd control methods which do not comply with the international standards, leading to a number of reporters being injured. The lawsuit demands compensation for the medical expenses incurred and protection of the media. An online discussion among journalists from a different news outlet who reported on the protest. It happened in the new social application called Clubhouse. These reporters came from Prachathai, Thai PBS, Thai Rat, The Matter, Workpoint, and a criminologist was held last night after the incident. So the National Police Chief actually, before last night, came out and offered an apology for the police rough handling of some protesters at Sanam Luang last Saturday. He, the Police Chief, Police General Suwat Jang Yotsuk, admitted that some mistakes were made on the part of the police and promised to make changes, adding that he would prefer not to see similar occurrences at the future protests. He wasn't really specified or what is the quote-unquote similar occurrences in the future protests, what it is.
Yeah, he didn't really specify like what exactly that will not happen again, because based on the reports, the riot police used tear gas and what else, the rubber bullets and water cannons, all these things. And we've seen this a couple of times when there was like a crackdown last year, if we all remember, and this time round is not any different.
The thing is, when you talk about international standard, I just start to wondering where is the guideline that we can officially look at for the international standard, giving warning and then followed by the high water pressure cannon and followed by tear gas and followed by rubber bullets, or I don't know, there must be some kind of guideline or something if they keep referring to international standard.
And if the international standards are actually there and if they're widely available, it somehow depends on how each country will interpret this as well, because at what stage you will use tear gas, at what stage you will use the rubber bullets or water cannons, all these things, but for which case? And the case that might be specified in the international standards would be different country to country as well.
I was about to say that. If you, let's say, use the chemical-laced water that maybe another 2 countries or 1 country used, and you can just say this is an international standard because there were other countries using it. But what are we referring to?
Exactly. And so let's say if you would use this kind of weapon for this type of unrest. And what does unrest mean to different countries? Like for Thailand might be one thing, but for Myanmar or other countries would be another thing. And you can just, and if you've been keeping up with the news, the protests in Thailand and in Myanmar are completely different and with different causes as well. So that would be open to interpretation as well.
According to police, they say they always give warning before they move on to the next step.
Yeah.
But according to news report, they heard the warning. Even the police even warned the reporters to get out of that front line or things like that.